What's up, Cowboy Nation? Really appreciate each and every last one of you all for jumping in. We got to talk a little bit about the trade scenario for the NFL draft on the upcoming month. Here's the situation. When we look at everything, it can all benefit the Dallas Cowboys. And we got a little community that's going on. It's called the Lawgram. Y'all check it out. I'll post a link in the description box. But we got some good, healthy conversation that's in there. Let me pull this up right quick. And one of the end users there, Campbell, said, okay, the 49ers moving up, it may be too high of a price because it's still not high enough, because if they really want Zach Wilson, they have to move up to the second slot. And we can see right here, let's just zoom in right here into this room right here of everything. We can see that the first pick, and this is just using a mock draft scenario, and this is where a lot of people got their thoughts as it relates to quarterbacks. They got quarterback 1, 2, and 3 going off the board. And of course, Trey Lance to me is one of the dogs here. Zach Wilson, he's one of those guys that you can look at and say, yeah, maybe, just maybe, if the Jets decide to move on from him. But how this all benefit for the Dallas Cowboys in a positive way or a negative way, by the 49ers moving all the way to the third slot, they're going to pick an offensive guy. I don't think that they move all the way up this high to pick a defensive player. And what we need defense, right? So when we look at this particular situation, of course, you see Kyle Pitts, he's gone. Now, I believe in the hearts of hearts, the Miami Dolphins, they really need offensive linemen to help out their particular quarterback. Nevertheless, when we go back and forth and talking about the aspect of, do you really want to go out there and grab a defensive guy opposed to a quarterback, or opposed to an offensive guy, offensive lineman opposed to a defensive lineman? All of this stuff goes back and forth with each other. But when we look at it and we say, okay, team needs, we can look at this picture and say, all right, Kyle Pitts, they got their quarterback already, right? They can look at this offense that they have and say, we need that dynamic guy that can add the extra sauce to it. And I believe in the hearts of hearts, by this list alone, this could be the angle where the Miami Dolphins go. But if I'm the Dolphins, I look at it like, how can I keep my little tiny quarterback upright, and I'll go grab me a quote-unquote offensive lineman. Now, of course, the Lions, they need a weapon. They need help on the outside. So they got Jamar Chase going there. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think Jamar Chase is next level dynamic. I would have liked Jamar Chase to be paired up with Galladay, so you won't have to worry about figuring things out your year one. But they're going to have to figure this thing out for themselves. That's just how it goes. So they got Jamar Chase going with number 7. Of course, you guys can see Justin Fields. That would be a life saver, or perfect weather. That's how I can put that for the Carolina Panthers, for them to go grab a Justin Fields. That is fantastic. For them to actually be able to grab this kid out of everybody in this draft, one can argue that, hell, he might just be the best quarterback in this draft, quote unquote. It could be a situation where it's the Cam Newton all over again, but they didn't go with the first overall draft pick. Now they got a guy that's mobile, they can fit right into the system, and they can work out with them. And I believe that that's a good situation for them. Now, I skipped over this one right here, the Atlanta Falcons. But when we look at the Atlanta Falcons, we know that Matty Ice, he's going to put the ball where it needs to be, right? He's going to be able to put up 4,000 yards or more every single year. And for them to go grab a offensive tackle, that's good for them. Hey, they need to help their quarterback out, keep him upright. True. Same situation and scenario for the young quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals. When you look at Rashawn Slater, you think about, hey, can he keep that quarterback upright? That could be the case in the scenario with that. All right, so moving over to the Broncos, Caleb Farley versus a Patrick Surtain. Now, most people draft evaluations, or most people who look at this type of form, whether it be Caleb Farley, Joe Horn, Patrick Surtain, Who else they kind of throw in the mix? Maybe Elijah Molden. Or you can throw in the other guy, Kevin Joseph. All of those guys all in this particular bubble, right? But we already know that Caleb Farley, hands down, from the outside looking in, regardless of all of the knowledge tests that they do and all of the other things that they like to dive deep into the film, he's like prototype. He's like, okay, he's fast. He makes plays. He's always around the ball. He's one of those guys that we can look at it and say, well, in this particular system, he will work. He might not work in that system, but he's the prototype, right? But now you got the Patrick Surtain, who had great combine numbers, had great things to put out there. And now you can say, all right, cool. How does all of this work out in favor for the Dallas Cowboys? Well, the Dallas Cowboys need NEED defense. Now, I'm with the philosophy of best player available, but that's my philosophy. I don't know how the Cowboys are going to draft. They may look at this thing and say, hey, we want a sure guy that we can match up with Trayvon Diggs, who can also work with the Atlanta free safety that we got now, KZ, and as well as somebody that can really play off the talent level that we got out of a Donovan Wilson. So all of those things, you added into one, you can say that with the 10th pick, the Dallas Cowboys select Patrick Surtain, and he's the safest pick. Although I'm with the belief that how this all can work out for the Dallas Cowboys is somebody's going to look at that 10th pick and they're going to want to dance with some of these offensive guys that's out there that's available. And they might get the itchy or might get the itch because they're going to sit there and say, hey, I definitely do not want somebody to jump me or to get in front of me in this spot. And I know that the Cowboys are picking defense anyway because that's where their angle is at. They already have off the board Rashawn Slater. They already have Penasua that's gone. Of course, you can say Elijah Vera Tucker may be a good situation for the Dallas Cowboys, but 9 times out of 10, teams are going to look at it like, man, Dallas, come on. We would like to will and deal with you because of the fact that we know that you're leaning more towards defense. Let us get into that spot. We'll give you our picks. So I believe that after all of this been said and done, the Cowboys still are in a better situation as it relates to this drafting because now they can just sit back and allow everybody to come to them. There will be some offers out there. That's a better way to put it. There will be some offers out there. And if the offer is sweet enough, the Cowboys can sit back and look at this thing and say, yeah, I will roll the dice because you still have, like I lamented earlier, you still might have Patrick Surtain out there. You still might have J.C. Horn. You still might have all of the defensive guys that you really want because this draft class as relates to defensive back is heavy. And the 1 techs and the 3 techs, they might not start falling off the board until the mid-second round.
He ain't lying.
Your edge guys, yes, they're gonna fall off the board in the middle of this first round. But majority of these guys, as far as what we really need, what we really need, and I'm not saying that you draft need, but you do draft best player available. Majority of these guys are going to be available as far as the defensive back because there's not a guy that's like light years ahead of the other guy in this defensive back secondary class. And on top of that, as far as the 3 techs and the 1s, the majority of those guys are going to start falling off the board maybe in the mid-seconds and beyond. And you can still get a good host of guys to bring in. Let me know of your thoughts, Cowboy Nation. Let me know. And also, you guys can join the community, man. We got a lot of conversations going on over here about the Dallas Cowboys and beyond. We even saw Zach Wilson's pro day right here. He was able to do some things out there. So I like knowing that we have the ability and the possibility to get things going in the best way possible. It's just that right now, Cowboy Nation, we still got to look at this thing and say, all right, cool. If the Cowboys are deciding to make an impact on this team, why not start this thing off right with great decisions in the draft? Don't have to rush it. Sit back, be like that spider. Cast your web and allow your prey to come to you. Post me your thoughts, post me your concerns down below. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's go.